Good evening, you're now with me, Hendy Gui, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg arrived in Singapore earlier today and is set to address the Philanthropy Asia Summit 2026, where he will outline the state's approach to balancing economic growth with sustainability and low-carbon development. The annual summit brings together government leaders, industry players, investors and global philanthropists to address key global challenges, including climate change, sustainable development and the future economy. In his keynote address, Abang Johari is scheduled to speak on Sarawak and the region, a green economy being built in real time. His remarks are expected to highlight Sarawak's ongoing transition towards a green economy with a focus on renewable energy, hydrogen development and regional cooperation to support long-term sustainability. He will also participate in a series of engagement sessions with international industry leaders, investors and philanthropic organizations throughout the summit. Prior to his keynote, the Premier is scheduled to meet Singapore Minister for Manpower, Dr. Tan See Leng, to further strengthen strategic cooperation between both sides. Among those present to receive him upon arrival were Deputy State Secretary for Economic Planning and Development, Dato' Sri Dr. Muhammad Abdullah Zaidel, Acting Sarawak Water Sdn Berhad CEO Mauseni Jamal, and Acting Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Dr. Nur Laina Yunus. The federal government remains committed to protecting the rights and interests of Sabah and Sarawak in keeping with the spirit of the formation of Malaysia that emphasizes fair and equitable treatment for all regions. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim says the government's current approach is aimed at ensuring policies are implemented in a more coordinated, systematic and effective manner through close cooperation between the federal and state governments. At the same time, Anwar adds that the implementation of MA63, including Sabah's 40% revenue claim, is no longer a disputed issue as the federal government is committed to implementing it.
Saya katakan, baik MA63, baik 40% untuk Sabah, itu bagi kita bukan isu lagi kerana jemaah menteri dan kerajaan persekutuan committed untuk melaksanakan.
He further notes that the government has clearly stated its commitment to ensuring that all matters agreed under MA63 are implemented in stages for the benefit of the people of Sabah and Sarawak. The Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone, or JSS, has been identified as a key driver of Johor's economic growth, contributing approximately 66% of the state's total investments over the past year. Home Minister Dato' Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail says this reflects the effectiveness of the Madani government's efforts to attract high-impact investment through strategic cooperation between Malaysia and Singapore, with strong emphasis on connectivity and mobility at national entry points to support the rapid growth of the economic zone.
Untuk satu kawasan penting seperti ini, tak boleh ada gangguan dari segi pergerakan orang dan barangan. Maka pintu masuk Johor Singapura yang hari ini adalah pintu masuk paling sibuk di dunia, kita tak boleh lagi terikat dengan sistem usang ataupun kaedah lama menguruskannya. Maka kita gantikan sistem usang dari segi border management.
Saifuddin adds that efforts to ease congestion at the Johor Causeway, the Sultan Iskandar Building and the Sultan Abu Bakar Complex are now a priority for the Cabinet Committee. He says the measures aim to ensure smoother movement of people and goods between Malaysia and Singapore. Now on to global updates. Chaos at the Strait of Hormuz escalates when a South Korean vessel was allegedly attacked by Iran recently. South Korea's Foreign Minister Cho Hyun held phone talks with his Iranian counterpart, Abbas Araghchi, to clarify the matter. Cho explains that the South Korean government is conducting an additional investigation into the attack on the HMM Namu, a Panama-flagged cargo ship operated by South Korean shipping firm HMM Co., and asked the Iranian side to clarify its position on the facts surrounding the incident. He also stresses the need to ensure the safety and freedom of navigation for all vessels, including South Korean ships, in the conflict-hit strait. In response, Araghchi shared Iran's position on the current situation and agreed on the need to restore safe passage in the crucial waterway, while calling for a swift end to the ongoing standoff. The two sides agreed to maintain close communication to help ensure the safety of South Korean vessels and crew members in the strait. A government investigation team earlier concluded a strike by two unidentified flying objects caused an explosion and fire aboard the HMM Namu on May 4th. The presidential office has said it is working to determine who was behind the attack. Meanwhile, Iranian state TV recently reported that European countries were in talks with Tehran over transit for ships through the Strait of Hormuz.
پس از گذشت کشتی‌هایی از کشورهای شرق آسیا و به ویژه چین و ژاپن و همچنین پاکستان، امروز خبر آمد که اروپایی‌ها هم وارد مذاکره با نیروی دریایی سپاه شده‌اند.
Iran has largely blocked shipping through the vital strait since the outbreak of war with the United States and Israel on February 28. A fragile ceasefire has been in place since April 8. Its grip over the waterway has rattled global markets and given Tehran significant leverage, while the U.S. has imposed its own naval blockade on Iranian ports. In peacetime, the route accounts for roughly a fifth of global oil and liquefied natural gas shipments, along with other key commodities. While much of the international attention is focused on the conflict between Iran, the U.S. and Israel, deadly spells continue to hamper the lives of Gazans. Israel forced latest strike in Gaza killed two without prejudice, as long as the bloodshed continues. Gazans in the area mourned, though admittedly they are desensitized due to constant losses of lives and property.
هذا الاحتلال لا يعرف أن هناك هدنة وأن هناك اتفاقيات، ولا يحترم وسطاء ولا يحترم أي شيء من هذا القبيل. بالعكس، الاحتلال ماض في جرمه. الاحتلال الإسرائيلي ما زال يستهدف المدنيين كل يوم، هناك ارتقاء للشهداء في كل مكان وقصف مستمر وتهجير أيضا للناس الذين ما زالوا يعني على أنقاض منازلهم يعانون الويلات. الحرب الإسرائيلية مستمرة ولم تتوقف منذ الإعلان عن وقف إطلاق النار.
Hello there and welcome back. Muslims in Malaysia will celebrate Hari Raya Haji on May 27th, according to the Acting Assistant Secretary of the Conference of Rulers, Muhammad Afandi Jalaluddin. In a statement broadcasted on RTM tonight, he also declared that Zulhijjah 1st, 1447 Hijrah, will fall tomorrow. Concurrently, Muslims in Indonesia and Singapore will also celebrate the holiday on the same date. Indonesia's Religious Affairs Minister Nasaruddin Umar says the decision was made following an Isbat session held in Jakarta on Sunday, based on moon sighting observations conducted at 88 locations across the country. In Singapore, Mufti Dr. Naziruddin Muhammad Nasir says, according to astronomical calculations, the crescent moon of Zulhijjah remained above Singapore's horizon after sunset on a Sunday evening. Malaysia will be collaborating with Russia to expand its Muslim-friendly tourism standards via partnership between the Islamic Tourism Center ITC and Russia's halal assurance body Roskoshystvo. The partnership was formalized on May 14 through a Memorandum of Mutual Recognition, or MOMR, signed during the 17th International Islamic Forum, Russia Islamic World Kazan Forum in Tatarstan in Russia. The agreement contains guidelines and standards for Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality services, while also granting reciprocal rights to use official logos and branding of the guidelines. ITC Director General Muhammad Faisal Abu Suaib Khan in a statement says the partnership marked a historic collaboration that would further expand the global reach of the Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality assurance and recognition MFA program. Faisal says Russia demonstrated sophisticated work in the halal sector through Roskoshystvo and expresses confidence that aligning standards between both countries would simplify business cooperation and strengthen tourism flows. Currently, the Muslim international tourism market is worth $235 billion. With both parties on board, it will produce greater liquidity through the tourism industry in both destinations. Faisal's counterpart, head of Roskoshystvo, Maxim Alexandrovich Protasov, aligns with his views, stating the harmonization of tourism standards strengthens Russia's position as a premium Muslim-friendly travel sector and a greater halal economy. ITC, an entity under the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture, also engaged with decision-makers and industry players in Kazan and other regions from May 12 to 17 to explore similar collaborations with international partners. Now back in the state, a total of 18 Indonesian nationals were detained by the Sarawak Immigration Department, or JIM, during a large-scale enforcement operation across several locations in Kuching on Saturday morning. In a statement, JIM said the operation, known as Ops Selera, involved 18 enforcement officers and targeted several premises, including restaurants and residential houses in Taman Sukma, Kampong Semerapadi, Tabuan, 10th Mile, as well as a food court in Batu Empat. The statement further stated that inspections revealed the premises were suspected of employing foreign workers without valid passes or work permits, as well as harboring illegal immigrants at the residences. During the operation, several foreign nationals also attempted to flee to avoid detention. However, swift action and the efficiency of the enforcement officers led to the successful detention of all individuals involved for further action. The Sarawak Immigration Department stressed that it will continue to intensify enforcement operations from time to time to track down and detain foreign nationals who commit offences under the Immigration Act 1959-1963. Action will also be taken against employer or individuals found hiring or sheltering illegal immigrants. Get all the updates you need all in one app. TVS Inspire brings you live updates on events, news and programs. Available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. TVS Inspire will on your screen anytime, anywhere. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.